Holbrook, joined by Miles Holliday and Nate Garlock. We are the three wise men. Gentlemen, throw the breadcrumbs down because I'm following the tournament trail this week.
Oh, good. That's what this is going to be today. I'm super excited for all the puns.
That's so good, right?
Oh, it's so great.
Hansel, Gretel, throw the breadcrumbs down.
Yeah, no, we got it. You don't have to explain the reference.
Stay close to
every time. Every time.
Stay close to Danny because you know he's eating them.
It's bread. I'm gluten-free.
We're off the rails. All right, this is how we're starting this week,
it's
everybody.
Sourdough bread.
Sourdough, yeah. That's how the show's starting already. No, guys, it's the best time of the year. We said it 3 weeks in a row now.
Yeah.
We are in girls' state tournament this weekend, boys' regional tournament this weekend. I've got 700 games. You've got 700 games. Miles got 3. This is a great weekend of games, isn't it?
I'm really looking forward to Nate calling play-by-play. You guys are going to do a great job together.
Spending all week with Danny.
We got
all week
games
with him.
together.
Yep.
Hey, if you want to text us, email us, write us, whatever. They get mad when I say this. Email us at 3wisemen@WTLW.com. Ask us your questions, anything. Nate, one of my favorite things, finally got recognized this week.
Oh, yes, this is exciting.
At the Elida Fieldhouse, a guy walks up.
The approachableness is coming this way.
Nate, approachable Garlock.
It's you know, I didn't think I'd like it. And I was right.
It was so funny. The guy walked up and he goes, "You're much more approachable since you've got the rose." It was great.
You can thank Megan.
Megan always looking out for me.
All right. Well, you know what? He's back from Hawaii. Diamond Dave Bowen. It's time to do the best thing we saw all week.
Diamond Dave Bowen, he's got some great footage of his trip to Hawaii. Just ask him about it. He's got a slideshow, too. He'll invite you over his house to watch it. Diamond Dave Bowen's excitement about being in Hawaii was absolutely crazy. Guys, I'm just telling you, ask him to watch the whale video, and then 30 minutes later, you'll see it. It's unbelievable.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
A lot of blue water.
A lot of blue water, and then, hey, look, there's a whale. But Diamond Dave Bowen is excited. But you know what was exciting? That Crestview and Spencerville matchup, double overtime thriller that took place at Defiance. The atmosphere, the toughness, the drama, the comeback. It was all amazing. That was one of the best things I saw. Hayden Parrott playing with a broken nose, Will and his guys. Will Sheets with the tip-in basket, the go-ahead for those guys in double overtime. The atmosphere. But the people that put it on, Jerry Beauty and his staff over there, fantastic. Early in that game, somebody had a light on their phone trying to distract the free throw shooter.
We're going here again.
And they went over and they told that young man right away, this must stop. They put an end to it. It was a great thing over there at Defiance. Had Lincoln View during last week. Lincoln View, don't slow down ever. When you guys run up and down, you're going to score 100 points. Nobody stays with you. So much fun to watch when they're running up and down. Mad Max Hammonds is crazy. How about Calvin Willow last week? Unbelievable, carrying his guys to another win. Blake Rogers with 15 points in the fourth quarter at Southview. Great game. They just came up a little bit short at Wapakoneta. Had Shawnee against Mansfield Senior. The toughness of that Shawnee group just wasn't enough, but it was an absolute war. So many great things. A lot of greatness this week.
And we've run out of time, ladies and gentlemen.
I was like, what didn't you see last week?
I had like 9 games.
We'll be back next year.
For me, actually spent a lot of time with Danny over the weekend. Going to spend a lot of time with him this week.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you. It was rough.
We'll just hang our head off.
But we were up at Elida on Friday night, Van Wert on Saturday, and for me, one of the best things that I saw at Elida, we were there for the Delphos St. John's Waynesville Goshen game. The Delphos St. John's fan base, the entire side of the gym, from the bottom of the floor to the very top.
It's ridiculous.
There was not an open seat
They love
in the place.
They love their Blue Jays.
And they were there
2 o'clock.
early.
2 o'clock. Yeah.
Lined up, ready to go to support this team that they feel is on this special run. They wanted to be there for it. They wanted to be a part of it. Didn't matter what part of the tournament run we're in. It was really incredible to see. The Waynesville Goshen Tiger fan base, they showed out as well. That place was packed for that game. And I've been to a couple other games since. Nowhere near the fans involved in there. So shout out to them. They did a great job being there to support their team. And then in that game, one of the reasons I wanted to be there, we got a chance to watch Cam Elwer. He moves up the all-time scoring list in OHSAA history. In that game, he passed LeBron James. Since then, he's moved up another spot to number 7. A big accomplishment for him. The fans got a chance to recognize him. Whenever you get a chance to pass all-time greats and you get to move up the list that not a lot of people ever get to put their name on, it doesn't matter what number you are. It's a special thing, and congratulations to Cam for that. And then finally, Saturday, The Kalida Wildcats.
Yeah.
This is a team that started off the year 4-8. We're really struggling. Their schedule was absolutely brutal. But that schedule allowed them to be ready for the big moments, which is what they had Saturday night for that district title. And they knocked off a very good Minster team. They handled them. They win by 2. They get the district title. You could see how much it meant to them after the year that they have had. That was really special to watch, and I was glad that we got to be on hand for that one.
Going back to Cam Elwer, Gino Ford, is that the next guy?
Yeah.
Number 6. He's
Cambridge High School. Yeah, OU alumnus. Yeah. I got to follow up with the same thing that Nate said. I have Cam Elwer on my list. I got a couple things. Cam was fantastic. Passing LeBron.
We were same places. We saw the same
weird,
thing.
same thing.
Crazy.
Yeah. Shout out to Cam.
I can't wait till next week.
Yeah, shout out to Cam. We got 4 games together. Yeah. But the biggest and best thing I saw, I mean, look, Cam was awesome, but no. Grime time. Owen Grime. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. So listen to this, Miles. They go to timeout. Nate looks at me, 6-7 seconds left in that game.
Wait, how many?
6, 7.
Oh my God.
They're down 2. Nate says to me, Danny, you were a coach, what would you do? I said, I'd take Owen Grime, give him the ball, get to the rim. You're going to get fouled, you're going to make it or miss, all right? 2 out of 3 are good. Not Owen Grime. He gets a step back 3 and drains it.
Which was identical to how he ended the first half. It's exact same thing. So you know they had the confidence. They drew it up. Big time play. I'll talk about it later. Thanks for reading forward. But.
Now, I'll say this. As good as Owen Grime was, Paul Steckschulte was fantastic.
He had a great game.
The 6'4" sophomore was a load inside for Kalida. Minster played a really good game. You know, they did some things, and it was just, and it wasn't a high-scoring game, but what a great game we got to call.
Was Owen Grime, as he was shooting it, was he singing the 1970s and early 60s Batman theme song?
I was.
Okay,
Yes, I was, yeah.
Why did you go Batman there? That's awesome.
Batman.
Owen Grime.
Owen Grime, Grime time.
Owen Grime.
Yeah.
Look, when he makes the three-pointer next time, it'll be like, pow, boom, bang.
Bang! Wow. And he even got away with it if it wasn't for that meddling defense.
That's Scooby-Doo. You're not even on the same card.
This
is so frustrating.
Pull the mask off of Nate.
Yeah. Look, it's Mr. Hand, the evil amusement park owner.
If you've stuck around, you are better than I am.
Oh, stick around, Lima Land. The Wapakoneta Redskins are in the house. Coach Trey Elkert, Ryan Richardson, Blake Rogers, and Caleb Adams. They're up next right here on the Three Wise Men. Tonight's interview is brought to you by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, located in Wapak, Delphos, and St. Mary's. Locally owned and operated, Lee's is not just famous for chicken, we're famous for catering, too. It's interview time here on the Three Wise Men, and the Wapakoneta Redskins are in the house. We're joined by Coach Trey Elkert, Ryan Richardson, Blake Rogers, and Caleb Adams. Guys, thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Appreciate you guys having us on.
Absolutely. Coach, I want to start with you. Did you always know you wanted to be a coach? I mean, your dad's a coach, your brother's a coach, everybody in the family's a coach. Did you always know that's what you wanted to do?
Yeah, it's kind of in the blood. As you mentioned, Dad had done it for a really long time and was fortunate to kind of grow up in a gym and really never knew anything different. So since the time I was knee-high every winter, that's pretty much where you spent your time. And, I always felt like it was probably going to be a passion of mine as I started to get a little bit older. I'm sure when I was real young, I was like every other kid, wanted to be a police officer, firefighter, something like that, But, I think by the time I had a true idea of what I was probably going to do, I had a feeling coaching was probably going to be involved in some way, shape, or form.
Guys, I want to ask all three of you the same question. I love watching him coach. Loved watching his dad coach when he did it. And the thing I like the most is the passion and the intensity. What's it like playing for a guy that he cares about you because he can really get after it, right?
Yeah, it's really special. I mean,
yeah, he pushes us to be better every day, and that's what it's all about. Getting better every day.
Yeah.
You're going to get his best regardless of who we're playing, where we're playing. You just know.
Yeah, he's sick or not, he's going to be at practice and he's going to be pushing you.
Yeah, that last game, that voice wasn't exactly there.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that last game, but yeah.
Did you like having 3 Elkerts on the bench this year? Was that a big deal?
Yeah, it was intense.
It was something. It was definitely something.
Ryan's very measured, isn't he?
The biggest issue is we all like to talk, so trying to figure out who can get their words in and allow everybody a chance to speak at times is probably a little bit of a battle, but As I mentioned earlier, we were very blessed, very fortunate.
Coach, let me ask you this, and please don't take this the wrong way. You've had tremendous success at Wapakoneta. What's it like where a lot of people consider it a football school,
Yep.
but you have really done an amazing job. And like I was saying to these guys off the air, everything you got coming back in the next couple of years, you're quickly turning that into we're pretty good at basketball too.
Yeah, JV's one undefeated, right?
Yep, undefeated JV squad. As you mentioned, so we've been fortunate to be at Walpock 6 years now. We've had a winning record all 6 years.
It's unbelievable.
To the best of our knowledge, as we've kind of looked back, that's probably about as long of a streak as the program's been able to have. And while I would say we're still not to the point where we would like to be, feel like we have things, continuing to move the needle in the right direction. Over the past couple years, we've honestly had to overcome a number of different injuries. We were very fortunate this year to remain healthy throughout the year. But there's a lot of time and work that goes into it, obviously, as our staff, but it ultimately comes down to our players putting in the time as well. And, these three are a great representation of that, and the other kids in our program that, I've continued to try to develop and elevate the program.
So when you see Coach Moyer, do you walk by him and you say basketball school? And he says football school. I mean, he's such a great guy. You guys have to have a great relationship.
No, as I fully appreciate what our football program has been able to, build at Wapakoneta. And, Coach Moore and I talk on a very regular basis. Obviously, I've been very fortunate to Coach Caleb and now Tyler coming up through our basketball program. So I have a great relationship with Coach Moyer. And I think that's kind of the level of success that we all want at the high school level, regardless of what sport it is that you coach.
Right.
And they've been kind of the model of consistency. So, I think there's things that we can continue to learn from that program. But I think any school around this area, if you have a good football program, a lot of people are going to call it a football school.
It's a great point. It's a great point.
Friday night lights, it's hard to beat. I come from Jackson Center. We didn't have football, so I can't speak on behalf of that. But anyone that's played under the lights on Friday night at a good football school, I think there's something to be said for that. And, we're trying to take a little bit of that success that they've been able to have in football and carry it over to our basketball program.
You guys talked about the patented intensity of that last name, Elkerts, right? Which Elkert is most intense, all right? And then what's the one thing at practice? Oh, I can't believe I did this because I'm going to hear about it. What are those things?
Not being on your ball line is number one.
Ah.
You're getting yelled at 100%. And I would probably say Coach Scott is the most.
Really?
Most intense.
Coach Scott, if you don't yell shot, you'll be hearing that.
You're running a lap.
You're running. Or if you don't box out, I mean, there's a couple of things. He's always he repeats the same thing over and over. Like he always says, he calls himself a broken record. So I would say he's always pointing out those little things, but I'd say he's the most intense because not many of the other ones are screaming as much.
All right, then what's your biggest pet peeve?
Ooh, biggest pet peeve.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good question there. I have a lot of them. I guess I'd probably have to go defensively, probably just defensive rebounding in general.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a huge one in our program, and we've been up and down at times. We were a lot better this year for the most part, and I think our games where we were the most successful, a lot of times we rebounded the ball really well. So we'll just say defensive rebounding probably starts there.
And you guys know you blew a defensive rebound. You just look over for the guy checking in for you after that?
You hear it before they even come down there.
Guys, when you look at this season, a great season for you guys, obviously not happy with bowing out of the tournament when you did. Look back on this season and tell me some of the highs. And a huge win over Otto Glenda. If I was there that night, that's a basketball school. We can say that. So there's a lot of great things we can talk about. And this being your senior year, tell me about the highs and the lows of this season.
Yeah, we've had a lot of good games. Like our game against LCC, that was we came out hot. We had energy the whole game. Yeah. OG, as you mentioned, we had a good game against Minster. We've had a lot of good moments in the season where we were just flowing. We were connecting,
Yeah, those games when we score 60 plus can kind of actually, score a lot of points. Those have been a lot of fun.
Well, Blake, you're one of the guys that can hunt your own shot, right? What's that like? You had an unbelievable fourth quarter against Southview, right? 15 points in that fourth quarter. You're red hot. What's that like when you're kind of in that feeling where I can score about anybody? What's that like in that moment?
I mean, you're just confident, I guess. But I mean, kind of thinking if I miss a shot, it's fine. I got other people. I mean, we always had at least 5 guys on the court that can score it equally as well. So
You didn't ever answer the question about your senior year.
I would say
Good moments, Richie.
good moments. I would say probably that stretch we had at the beginning of the year with Coldwater and Minster and Allen East. Those couple of games we played really well and they were fun. Bounce scoring. When it's bounce scoring like that, I think it's really fun.
Man, how tough was it for you coming off a long football season and getting right back into basketball? And you've been doing it for years now.
Coach Hooker gives us a little break, so that's kind of nice to have that couple-day break, and then I'm ready to just get to basketball season.
I was there when you guys played TCC in football and lost to the college team. That was nice.
I was there too.
Yeah, the smiles was there.
That was me next to you.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That was you. Yeah. Coach, what about for you this year? What has this year meant to you? And a lot of great wins, and obviously not being where you want to be, but as you said earlier, you want to take this program to new heights.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing. So we were able to get off to a 12-1 start. And as we talked when we got back in the locker room this past Thursday after unfortunately getting beat by Southview, and what I wanted our guys to remember most is kind of the atmosphere that I felt that they had built in our gym on Friday nights.
That's fantastic.
And while it was unfortunate, we lost a couple league games there in the middle of the year to Van Wert and Shawnee and some quality teams. That was as much energy as I had seen in a Walpock gym, at least since I've been there. And so that's what I was most happy for our guys, that they had put themselves in position to play in some big games, to play in front of those big crowds. Obviously, the next step, as you mentioned, is to find a way to come out on top of those and to continue to build that momentum, not just early in the season, but as you continue, the middle and the end of the season there. But I think we took our biggest step in terms of the community rallying around these guys a little bit.
Yeah, your student section was fantastic, right?
Yeah.
You get a lot of energy off those guys.
yeah,
Of course, definitely. They play a big factor in the game. With energy shifts the game big time.
Yeah, and when you guys get those big moments, and you get a big win, they're on the floor with you celebrating that. That's got to mean so much that your classmates really get into it with you.
yeah, for sure.
Caleb, I got to ask you, when it comes, they talk about getting downhill, right? This guy gets downhill with the best of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you see that defender is flat foot and you're moving right towards him, do you just salivate that moment because you know you're going to get by him?
Yeah, I mean, I just play to my strengths. I don't try to do anything outside my game, so I know I can get to the rack. So when I see a defender on their heels, I take advantage and I create my opportunity.
And you can dunk with ease.
Yeah. I'm blessed with the athletic ability.
That's a great way to put it.
Blake, can you dunk?
Yeah, but not in game yet.
I
give myself
A little bit.
I mean, if I had 10 chances, I'd probably make 5 or 6 of them.
All right, you get a breakaway. Are you trying it or no?
I mean, it just depends on the
Don't look at
situation.
me.
I know you're just playing too. How much trouble am I getting, Coach?
It depends on the situation of the game. I mean, it's kind of a blowout, and I'm feeling good. Legs feeling fresh.
All that goes through your head while you're doing it. That's awesome, man. He's a quick processor. Not
Right,
me.
you don't.
Coach Hooker knows I can dunk.
Most times.
times.
If you go baseline, you turn sideways.
Yeah, I don't know about baseline.
There are a lot of guys that can dunk 1-on-0 in an empty gym.
All right, guys, if you watch the show, you know the next question I'm going to ask you. And I ask everybody that comes on the show, who's the one team every year that you want to beat worse than anybody else? And to be honest, because a lot of people say in basketball, Wapakoneta. They do. We've had a ton of people
We
say
have.
that.
We've had that, yeah.
I would say Shawnee. They're the best. They've been the best since I've been in high school. So beating them would obviously be the goal every year.
Yeah, I'd say Shawnee too. I came from Shawnee, so it's just a little bit different. Like I'm playing against some of my friends, and they're the top dogs, and who doesn't want to beat the top dog,
They could have used you on Saturday.
Wow.
They could have. It was a physical game.
Yeah, Shawnee. I mean, they've won the league both times I've been playing high school basketball. So, I mean,
You guys have a tradition of playing great defense, right? I feel like no matter where you're going to be a head basketball coach, your teams are going to play great defense. You demand it, right?
Yep.
What's the toughest thing that teams do that you have to defend that gives you fits?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's it varies a lot opponent to opponent. I wouldn't say there's one specific team. I think in today's age, if you got a bunch of guys that can really shoot the ball,
Sure.
obviously it spreads you out. Everyone looks at Delphus in the area. We don't play Delphus on our schedule, but they're really hard to guard if you're going to have to go out and extend and guard at 22, 23 feet against 4 or 5 different guys on the floor. I think that's going to be first and foremost. If teams have a really dominant big, and I wouldn't even say scoring big, but a guy that can really dictate some attention, be able to pass and rebound out of there, is a threat to be able to get you 4 or 5 offensive rebounds and putbacks throughout the course of the game. So I think sometimes – we can talk and we can scheme against plays and some of those types of things. But at the end of the day, if teams can shoot it and they got some guys that can really crash the offensive glass, those are things that can be hard to scheme against.
Sure.
Those would be the two things that probably I would say just stand out in general is tough stuff to, I don't know if it's guard, but can't contain on a night-to-night basis.
You guys know the talent inside and outside the program, right? Give us a name that next year that nobody really knows about, but is going to be a big contributor to the varsity program next year. Give us a name.
I think Henry really could do some good stuff.
I like him. Yeah.
He's tall, he's lengthy, athletic. He could be a good contributor to the team.
What about you guys?
Zayden Howard.
Big fella, man.
When he comes in, everyone sees him. So he ain't missing him.
You can't miss him. He's got good feet for a big guy too, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
I would say Graham Minnick. He had a really good end of the year, and he's definitely been developing a lot, so I think him.
Coach, I always ask when coaches come on the show about the schedule. When I coached, the toughest games were always the Saturday night games. We worked so hard on our Friday night league games. And Saturday, we get the Saturday walkthrough. Do you like the Tuesday, Friday? Do you like the Friday, Saturday? Because I hated Friday, Saturday. Hated it.
I personally like Friday, Saturday, and to me it's more from a practice perspective. I think if you get yourself those Tuesday, Friday weeks, it's Monday's a prep day, Tuesday game, Wednesday recovery, Thursday prep. You don't get as much time to focus on yourself. I think with as many double weekends as we play, we get a couple days each week where hopefully we can improve and really focus on some things that we need to work on. Does it make those Saturdays challenging at times? Yes, sure. Absolutely. But most times if you're playing on a Saturday, the team you're playing also played the night before. And, you got to be able to show a little mental resolve and test your depth a little bit. So I personally like the double weekends, but that's more from a practice perspective as opposed to a game.
Before we get to Miles' rapid fire questions, I want to ask you, who's the toughest coach to coach against?
Ooh. Wow.
And now all the coaches watch this show, by the way.
Yeah, no. I'm going to take. I guess
good question.
I guess I'm going to take a little bit of a bailout answer right now, and I'm not.
Everybody in the WBL. Right?
I'm not going to give you a specific name, but this is now my 6th year at Wapak. The only coaches that have been in the league longer are Coach McLaughlin and Coach Triplett at Shawnee and OG.
Yeah.
Coach Johns, Coach Lehman, and myself all came in the same year.
Right.
And since then, we've had a lot of turnover. And I think that turnover, and we've had some great coaches that have retired or left the league. I think right now the collection of 10 coaches in the league is as quality as you can get. There are really no gimmies on Friday nights right now.
The WBL is brutal.
And I get talent-wise, there's going to be some teams that, kids are better than others, but I think right now the coaches in our league are really going to scheme and really, really work hard at it. So, yeah, it is a little bit of a cop-out answer now.
No.
But
you just gave me 10 guys.
Yeah,
right?
I really believe in the quality of coaches in our league right now, and that's a compliment to those guys and the programs that they're trying to build as well.
That's a great answer because they're all here.
Yeah.
Brian, I was there at OG when you guys upset them when you were a junior over at their place. That was an electric atmosphere. Looking back at your career, what's the biggest couple of wins that you look back and you're so proud of?
I would say that OG win was definitely one that we were proud of. We hadn't beat them since 1998 or something, so winning that game was big for us. Another win that we beat Shawnee in my freshman year.
Okay.
And I got in a little bit, so that was a big one.
You can count it.
Yeah.
You can do that.
And then I like beating Defiance this year at our place, and Blake hit that game winner.
That was a big win. Yeah. Blake, 80% at the free throw line, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic, right?
You're 82.
82, okay, 82. We had you 80 going in against Southview, so you wound up at 82. Fantastic. What's it like? What's it take to become such a consistent free throw shooter, and can you share it to the rest of the guys?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I work on it outside of basketball just like everyone else does.
Okay.
I was just fortunate enough to, I guess, make more than some others, I guess, this year. But
That's a great answer.
Do you play a game like you have to hit 10 in a row, or I mean?
we play a game called On the Line, and you make one. Then there's 2 on the line. Next person makes it, 3 on the line, 4 on the line, so on.
Oh, I like that.
Until someone misses, and then you usually play 15, 20, something like that, and we've all been pretty used to that game. Or sometimes as practice, we'll just play a game on the line, and
Nice.
that's what we kind of work on to get our
Caleb,
free
do you
throws.
hear this?
Yeah. I'm listening.
I love you, big guy. That's awesome. You ready for?
We are. You guys ready for rapid fire?
Rapid fire. Yep. You guys are all right. Coach, first one's to you. Favorite coach to watch, either when you were growing up or currently? Who's the favorite guy that you've always?
Well, I got to
watched?
say Dad growing up.
Sure.
Dad growing up. Now Tom Izzo. We were actually talking about him on the way up here. Blake, he was up at the Michigan State game yesterday.
Oh, you were? Okay.
But I think he is a tremendous model of in a time that's changing. A lot's changing in college athletics. Of being true to himself, and he's kind of the wise guy now. He's been around the block, but Tom Izzo would be the guy.
Coach, if Blake, if he's in Michigan State, if he starts kicking people like Mr. Fears
Is
does,
Fears
you won't
your favorite
defend that,
player?
will you? Not like Coach Izzo did yesterday.
Blake hasn't been doing that, so we don't have to cross that bridge.
That's awesome. That's so good. You're not defending that, are you? Are you State or Michigan?
I like Ohio State, but
Yes!
Okay.
but I just liked going.
Had to get
I mean,
free
it was a big game, and
You were there though. You saw the kick, right?
no, yeah, it was.
Which one?
It was on the jumbotron a couple of times. Michigan fans weren't too happy about it. Yeah.
I guess he's. It came across earlier today. He's going to quit. He's not going to play in a tournament. He's going to join the first ever kickball, pro kickball tour. And he's going to
ask questions.
He's going to join that.
I should leave for a second.
Fellas, you guys all have amazing hair, man. It makes Danny and I jealous. Who has the best hair on this team? Who has it?
I would say Graham Minnick.
Really?
Definitely not. That's definitely something that goes on.
I would have to say Caleb Moore.
Yeah, right.
luscious spots.
Yeah. Sunshine.
Coach has got some good looking.
Yeah, our coaches look like they're going
$1
to
on
the
a
military.
haircut in his life.
Yeah.
He'll tell you that.
Who cuts his hair?
His wife.
They've been bragging about that forever.
Nice.
All,
That's the Elkert way.
Coach,
Yeah,
what's
all
Coach
3 of
call
them.
you? He called you Richie?
Yeah.
Is that your
Richie.
nickname?
Yeah,
Okay. I like
something like
that.
that.
Oh yeah.
All right, so what's your answer? Best hair?
Oh, I don't know. I'm kind of all even. I don't know, man. There's a lot of bad ones. I'll tell you that.
Well, we're talking. Who's got the worst then?
Well, you can tell Ryan was definitely being sarcastic when he said.
Yeah, I kind of figured that. All right, guys. We all love Lee's Chicken. Favorite thing at Lee's Chicken? What is it?
3-piece strip meal with buffalo and ranch, but you gotta.
Maybe you've ordered that a couple times. Huh?
Totally.
He's been there a couple times.
I would just say mac and cheese. Just the mac and cheese is good.
Yeah, don't sleep on that.
Yeah, I do the 3-piece meal as well.
Yeah? Okay.
I just do only ranch though, and I get the mac and cheese.
All right,
So.
Coach, you got Lee's?
Potato wedges.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So quick with those answers.
The gravy's
too.
the best.
Yeah.
The gravy's the best.
It
I
is.
could drink that stuff.
Brian, this one's for you and you only, okay? If you're going to play Grandpa Mark in one-on-one up to 11, what's the final score?
11-0.
He doesn't even score. I love it. All right. All right, last one for you guys. Favorite Elkert, who is it?
No, I like all of them. They all have their individual personalities. You know,
So programmed. Did you see the look? Like,
They all give a good, honest answer here.
I feel like they all complement each other well.
it's a long walk to Wapak, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Richie, come on, you're leaving.
It depends on the night.
It does depend on the
That
day.
is an
man.
honest answer. Fellas, loved it, man. Great job.
Guys, thanks so much for coming in. You guys were fantastic. Best of luck next year, and best of luck to you at Bowling Green. And Coach, keep doing your thing because you're just doing a fantastic job with the program. We're real proud of you. And guys, come back and see us again sometime.
Make sure he takes you to Lee's.
Appreciate you guys having us on and
thank you.
all you
Thank you for
guys do
having
for
us.
the area and
Thank
local
you.
sports,
Great time,
and you're promoting the schools and programs.
I'll tell you what, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Your athletic director and the facilities and the way we get treated over there, first class.
Yep.
In every sport. We are treated so well there. You guys are very fortunate to be in a community that embraces athletics like it does. And good Dairy Queens, too.
You guys are all about the restaurant chains.
That's right.
Look at us. You surprised?
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Welcome back, Lima Land. It's the Three Wise Men, and it's time for the WOSN Schedule of the Week. Some of the biggest and best games on the schedule. Can't wait to cover these. I'll be doing play-by-play for most of them.
Nate, what will you be doing?
I will be doing color for all of them. Me and Danny all week long.
Four
Listen,
games in a row.
listen,
My buddy and I are working together.
Look, when he
you
takes
know-
a breath, say your one word.
Listen, at this point, I just have to wait for the point. He'll take a break. He'll be like, "You can talk now," and I'm like, "All right,
I
thanks."
do.
And usually it's like, "I agree," and he's like, "Great job, big guy. Great job,
It's
great
so
job."
cute to watch him. He's like that little monkey. He's just.
That broadcasting school is really paying off.
Yeah, dynamite drop in, dynamite drop in.
All right, guys. Game 1 and 2, Division 7 semifinals Tuesday. From the Stroh Center on the campus of Bowling Green State University, the Kaleida Wildcats take on Pettisville in Game 1 and Arlington and Montpelier in Game 2. Mark Shine, Darn Nevergall, Garrett Seawright, and Darren Gilbert. 4 great announcers for WSN. Guys, this Kaleida game, 14-11, Pettisville. Really like this matchup. I think Kaleida, and we saw it the other night, they're playing their best basketball of the year.
Yeah, and we talked about it going into that game. That Minster team, we had seen them that Friday night in Elida. They wanted to get up. They wanted to run. They wanted to push the tempo. They looked really good when they did it. The inside-outside game that they had really been clicking. But Kaleida, to our surprise, especially in that first half, they said, "Cool, you want to run? Let's run." Mm-hmm. And they ran
got
right
after
with
it.
them.
Yeah,
and
they
they
did.
pushed it with them, and they were hitting shots. But then when it came time to slow things down and to muddy it up a little bit,
That's exactly what they wanted.
they were like, "Great, we can do this too, and we can do it better." And that's exactly what they did. And this is why they ended up taking that game for Minster. They can take the game wherever it needs to be. And that is really a mark of a really well-coached team and a team that has the potential to make a even deeper run then. I like them in this matchup because of that, because of their ability to play wherever the game needs to go. You got shooters like Grime, you got guys in the middle like Steck Schulte who have no problem going in against guys maybe they're giving size to. They really impressed me in that game against Minster, and I think they're set up well in this Pettisville matchup.
Why do I know that you know something about Pettisville? Why do I know this?
Number one, if you ever go, it's one of the most glorious places on the planet. Pettisville's a special place. Stop at Sundays. It's a little town shop inside. It's like going to Ike Gotze's place on Walton's Mountain. It's a special place. I love Pettisville.
You just said a lot of words. I have no
did.
idea
No
what you're talking
sugar while
about.
the war's still going on.
I have no idea what
Brian
you're talking about.
Leppelmeyer, the head basketball coach there, longtime head coach, AD. He is about as good as he coach you're ever going to find. Defensive-minded guy. This game might not get to 40 points because they will play a deliberate style. They'll play defensive first. They love their high-low attack, but they have a tremendous ace up their sleeve. Jack Leppelmeyer, the son of Brian Leppelmeyer, set the school record for triple doubles in a year. He is unbelievable. We had him in a game earlier this year. He had 9 rebounds, 8 assists. He had 22 points. He can do it all. He's going to be a handful for Kaleida. I really like Pettisville and what they do defensively.
Game 2, guys, the Arlington Red Devils and Montpelier. Arlington comes in 22-3, Montpelier 23-2. And guys, the weather's warming up. I'm just going to kind of sit underneath the willow tree.
Long branches.
There's
some long branches there.
exact response that you should get every time you try to pull
Because
that out.
Calvin Willow plays for
He's
Arlington.
tall.
Yeah, no,
we get it.
tall.
We get it.
You
He's tall.
don't have to explain your
Those are the
puns.
best kinds of jokes, Nate. The
all
ones you have to
When
explain.
you have to tell people why it's funny, that makes it funnier.
There's people out there that want to hear.
Nate, tell us what you think.
Listen, at the end of the day, I just think that we all know what we're all waiting for, right? And this is just the next stop. Montpelier is just that next hill that they got to climb to get to where we're all anticipating. Can Montpelier knock them off? Sure, of course they can. But when we talk to Coach Vermillion and the guys when they were in here, you can just tell that there is a mission and that there's just something different this year. They're buying into everything that Coach Vermillion has with them, that connection, that togetherness that this team has. It's special. And I think ultimately this is just the next thing that they have to get past, that I think they will, on their way to what we're all anticipating is that rematch.
17, 18 in a row for the guys, yeah. Well, Montpelier's going to be no easy task. 23-2. C.J. Fiddler, you've heard me say it before, 1,000-point scorer as a sophomore. He is the real deal. Yeah. 23 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists per game this year. But the real key, Gavin Bass, they're the biggest guy on this Montpelier team at 6'5". He only plays about 15 minutes per game. He's going to have to play a lot more than that and have success if they're going to slow down Calvin Willow. It's an unbelievable matchup, quickness and guard play versus the giant inside. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I think what ultimately is going to be is Willow's ability to run the floor, because he's big, and a lot of people think, oh, when you're that big and you're that size, it's going to take you a minute. You're just going to set up. No, he can run the floor with everybody else, help push that tempo. It's what makes their transition game so difficult to defend, because you have to find the 6'8" guy running down the middle of the floor.
Yeah, when are we going to start saying Jason Vermillion is as good a coach as there is in Northwest?
He is.
That guy does a fantastic job.
Good interview, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Firm handshake. That was a great handshake.
Game 3, Division 6 semifinals Tuesday night from Vandalia Butler High School. Fort Recovery comes in at 15-10, taking on the Marion Local Flyers, 23-1. Myself and Nate Garlock will be on the call. December 12th, Marion Local defeated Fort Recovery 53-39. Gentlemen, here's my concern about this. I said this last week with the Ada Bulldogs. I don't know where Fort Recovery is going to get enough points. When you look at what they average 49 points a game, but defensively, Marion Local only gives up 38 a game. Well, in tournaments, they ratchet up and average about 34 a game is what they're giving up. So unbelievable.
You need either Judy Overman or Barga to have one of those amazing nights to carry the day. Love Marion Local because what do I always say? Guys that can carry tempo, guys that don't turn the basketball over. You like them in the tournament. But the thing we always undervalue about them is their ability to defensively rebound the basketball. How many times do you see teams get second opportunities against them? You don't, right? So that's why I like Marion Local in this one. Yeah,
I like Marion Local as well. And I think, we've talked all year long about Mesher and how good he is defensively and how good this Marion Local team is as a whole. But, we started to talk about it a little bit more, but Cale Arns and what he's been able to do offensively for that team, I think, is really what's going to and that offensive presence that they have. Their defense has never let them down. They had one blip, and again, we've talked about it a lot. There's really no shame. It's been the same blip for a lot of teams this year with that Delphus St. John's game. But other than that, that defense has been there. It's tried and true. The offense is there as well. Just seems to be a machine that's rolling down the tracks. Unfortunately, I think Fort Recovery is just kind of in the way.
Yeah, you guys know this. They gave up 23 points earlier in the year to a team. They gave up 28 points. 5 of their last 6 games, they've given up 34, 40, 39, and 23.
Marion Local.
Marion Local.
Yeah, they're
unbelievable.
They're rock solid defensively.
Yeah, it's such a fun team to watch. Game 4, Division 4, Wednesday night at Bowling Green State University. The Van Wert Cougars take on Jonathan Alder, Dave Bowen, Josiah Stober. Guys, Van Wert 19-6, and here we go again with, aren't they a year early? Aren't they? No, they're not. They're really good.
Yeah, you can't say that anymore, right? You're saying, maybe they're a year early, this, that, and the other. You're in a regional semi. You were the 1 seed. There is no more. You're here. This is what you're supposed to be doing now. Now, we talked about the last time that they had a quote-unquote, kind of spotlight game. That was against Shawnee. If you're ready to take that next step, those are the games that you have to be able to win. I think they learned a lot in that matchup against the Indians. This isn't going to be easy. They are going to have a difficult task in front of them with Jonathan Alder. But what Xavier Kelly, the speed that he has when he's able to get going downhill, and what the rest of that team and that young core has been able to do, I really like this Van Wert team. I do. I like their makeup.
Something special.
There's just something about this team. Now, Jonathan Alder is going to be a difficult task. There are no easy nights anymore, especially in Division 4 and in this matchup. But man, there's just something about this Cougar squad that you just can't help but enjoy.
They've done a really good job in this tournament of making sure post touches occur. Sometimes in a regular season, Zach Crummy would have like 6 points early, and then he wouldn't touch it till like middle of the second quarter, right? Not this tournament. They're getting post touches to him. Gonna have to go quick. If he catches it and he waits, that ball's gonna be turned over. You get one dribble at top against this very quick Jonathan Alder team. I like Jonathan Alder a lot because you look at their scores, they can win games into 40s. They're more comfortable scoring games into 70s and winning. Teams that can score and win games into 40s, 50s, 60s, you like their chances. They know how to play any style you want to play and win. Brady's sweet. Keep an eye on that kid. He is something else.
Yeah, and part of their style they play is they play a diversity of schools. Being on the outside of Columbus, they can go in Columbus City. They can play on the out. I mean, there's a lot of schools that they play with a lot of different styles.
They just roll the ball out and say, well, "How do you want to play today?" We'll play it.
Now, one of the things that we haven't really talked a ton about in this tournament has been travel. And you're talking about there's going to be a significantly different in the travel here for Jonathan Alder than it is for Van Wert.
That's a great point.
Saw that Mansfield Senior when they played Shawnee this weekend. I thought that really helped Mansfield Senior being so close to Ontario as opposed to Shawnee.
Yeah.
Game 5, Division 4, Wednesday at the Stroh Center, Bowling Green State University. Sandusky Perkins with a stellar 23-2 record. They take on our Bath Wildcats 17-8. Randy Roberts, Miles Holiday on the call. I loved what Nate Garlock said off the air. He said if Dre White gets the Bath Wildcats into the regional finals, they're building a statue outside of the high school. And they should.
They're already starting to look out and map out where it's going to go,
We
right?
love Dre White. We want a statue out there.
Yeah, Dre's done a great job, right? And who would have thought at the beginning of the year they'd be right here? But they've deserved it because they've been very tough, right? They're never out-toughed. They score games in the 40s. They play great defense. And that's how they're going to have to win this basketball game because they're going to be at a size differential. Perkins can put out there, their 4 seniors, 6'6", in Glass. You know he's a good rebounder. 6'6", and his last name's Glass. He's got to be a good rebounder, right? Groot, Schweden-Firth at 6'3", Groot 6'4", and then Cash Cook at 6'1" is 6'1". That's a lot of height that they have in that front court. This Bath team going to have to run clock, going to have to be very good defensively, get every loose ball. Score's got to be mid-40s for them to win.
Yeah, and I think they got to muck this one up a little bit. They got to take away possessions. They got to keep the ball out of Perkins' hands. This is a really big test for this Bath Wildcat team. I hope that this can continue for them. I like this run. All three of us, everybody would love to see an all WBL regional final right there. That would be fantastic.
Stop me.
Neither team has an easy draw here, but if Bath can find a way, it almost has to mirror those Ottawa Glandorf games that Bath has had. Yeah. It just has to be ugly. And it doesn't matter. Again, you don't have to win pretty, you just got to win. Make this ugly, keep the possession, keep the ball out of Perkins' hands, long offensive possession, stay locked in. They can do that. They can keep the score down, keep the ball out of Perkins' hands. They got a good chance.
Let me ask you this. All right, Dagan Hawkins, unbelievable last round, right? He was really good. Yeah. If you're Perkins, do you focus more on Hawkins or Markley? Because they're both capable of scoring big buckets.
I think it has to be the scouting report is going to go to Markley. You got a 1,000-point scorer. He's a big kid. He can take over games when given the opportunity. We saw that earlier in the tournament in the game that they needed him to do that. I think that has to be your first stop. Let's take the ball out of his hands. Let's make somebody else. Now, the good thing for Bath is other guys like Hawkins have been stepping up and been showing that they can carry the load when necessary, and they're going to need them. This is going to have to be everybody's going to have to contribute for Bath in this one.
Josiah Clark.
Yes.
Big-time shooter when he has to be.
Yep.
I watched him a couple weeks ago. He knocked down 3 triples over at Wapakoneta. He can really stroke it from the outside. Now, with all that being said, we had Coach Trey Elkert on the show earlier, and he talked about how good Perkins was. But what a coaching staff to put together a game plan. And you guys said it. They've been in those rock fights all year long. They know how to slow tempo. They know how to take away your best objectives. Yep. I really like this matchup because if Bath can get by these guys, who says they can't go to state, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, Sandusky Perkins only lost 2 games by a combined 7 points. So if you're Bath, you have that lead late into the 4th, you're eating clock. All of a sudden, Sandusky Perkins has that internal pressure because they're not used to being in these moments. That's how Bath gets it done.
Guys, Game 6, Division 7, Wednesday night from Vandalia Butler High School, the #1 team in Division 7. The Delphos St. John's Blue Jays, unblemished at 25-0. They take on Cincinnati College Prep Academy. They're 12-7. Myself and Nate Garlock will be on the call. Gentlemen, I very rarely say this about games because, you don't like to disparage teams, and I'm not going to disparage teams.
Yeah.
But this game
Do
will
it.
be
Do
rated.
it. Do it.
Listen, this game's going to be rated RU. Are you ready for a running clock?
That was so bad. It was such a buildup. We thought we were getting something cool, and then you ruined it.
Look,
Why didn't you go with the Triple H? Are you ready? Why didn't you do
I
that?
don't know enough
So
wrestling.
here's the deal with this game, and
You're
I
gonna be
think
there.
I will be there. I'll be on the
we-
color commentary for you. But here's the deal for this game. In my
just wrong.
opinion, there are things that, there are matchups at this point in the regional semis that we probably wouldn't have seen in the previous format when we just had 4 regions. When you go to 7, you're going to get matchups like this late. This is a mismatch, all right? Now, listen, you have to play the game, and you have to still go out there and execute, but this is for Cincinnati, this is not an ideal matchup here in a regional semis. Delphus St. John's is a big favorite, and they're a big favorite for a reason. Cincinnati doesn't come out of the strongest conference. Now, there are some good teams, and they have played,
There are some good teams in that
Oilers
conference,
in
yeah.
that one. That
Yeah.
is that really good team that's also still alive. Aiken is still alive. They have teams that they have to play that could have gotten them ready for this. Bigger schools down there in that Cincinnati area. I don't know that they're going to have what they need here to compete against
Miles,
Delphus
here's
St.
something you
John's.
need to know. This
Thanks,
Cincinnati,
Dad.
the Cincinnati Prep Academy.
Yeah.
Yeah. There, Sonny, I got something. they're playing teams 2, sometimes 3 times.
Yeah.
Delphus St. John's beat Versailles by 36 earlier this year.
Yep.
Versailles beat these guys by 12. And I know we don't compare teams like that, but it's the
just
only
did.
barometer we have. It's the
Well,
only barometer we have.
you talked earlier about how is scoring going to happen, right? For Cincinnati College Prep, they only have one player that is scoring in double figures. Deshaun Johnson averages just under 14 points a game. That's it. The next
Evan
highest
Davis
score
is at 11. Yeah.
They just don't have the firepower that you're going to need to be able to play with the St. John's team that's going to push the tempo and they're going to put points on the board.
Danny, when you look at the schedule on the internet, what are the letters that go with both teams?
Okay, that's funny you should say that. You mean the teams they played?
No, this matchup. It's
Oh.
DSJ, right?
Yeah.
And what's
Cincinnati College Prep Academy.
what are those letters?
CCP. CCP, the
CC
Russians.
CCP.
Oh,
Hey,
that's right.
Nate, I'm not sure if you know this or not, but it's the first time ever a concession stand's going to sell alphabet soup.
This is terrible.
You hear that silence, guys? This whole episode.
We should have crickets in the background.
They're just
Yeah.
going.
So
this
Cincinnati-
whole episode's going to get cut.
Cincinnati College Prep Academy, they had a game where they gave up 93 points. You look at their point totals, they give up points, right?
A lot.
Hope is not a strategy on the defensive end. I don't think that CCPA makes it past this weekend. I think DSJ moves on, and we all enjoy a nice bowl of alphabet soup.
Oh, Game 7, Division II, Wednesday night from Springfield. Lima Senior at 20-4. They take on Cincinnati Aiken at 13-11. Mark Shine, Darren Gilbert on the call. Gentlemen, these two teams played earlier this year, a 109-82 senior high win.
And you like Aiken, don't you?
I just like their athleticism. They're look, anytime you can get up and down the floor and score the basket, they can score, guys. They're averaging in the mid-70s. They know how to put the ball in the hoop.
Washington can
Look,
score with anyone.
Lima Senior doesn't come to play defense. They're going to get beat, but for my money, I think Lima Senior is the better team.
Well, and we kind of saw that earlier. I mean, listen, you said that Aiken can score, and they can score against a Lima Senior team that hasn't given up a ton of points. They've been able to lower point totals and clamp down on the number 1 and number 2 teams in the state.
Yep.
So being able to put up that many points against that Lima Senior team, that's a really big check for Aiken. They got Chris Washington Jr., he's averaging almost 20 points a game. DeAndre Carr Short, he's about 15 to 16 points a game as well. They got guys that know how to score. Lima Senior has a lot of guys that know how to score. And I think ultimately, you saw Sean Foster start to get back into the mix coming off of the injury during that district run. Now, the only question that I have is that this Lima Senior team's district run was
Minimal.
yes, there wasn't a lot of challenge
Yeah,
there.
186 to 77 last week in combined scores.
And so that can, I don't even want to say is it a hurdle, right? Because they've had a lot of lopsided games this year, so they at least know how to play those, and then still get ready for the games that matter. But if you're Coach Simpson, maybe you'd like your kids to feel a little bit of pressure going into the regional against a team that's familiar with what you do and knows who to take away. Those are some new wrinkles for them. But ultimately, I think, this is, we talked about it earlier, right? This is the next hurdle. I think this is just kind of the next step to that rematch from last year with Cincinnati Winton Woods.
Chris Washington, nice ball player. All right, 20 points a game, like you said, uses a lot of quickness, not real big. They say 6 foot, more close to 5'10". But that's a problem because senior has a bunch of guys that are quick and about the same height.
And
that
length.
Can wear him down, right? He's going to have to really work hard for his points. When are we going to start talking about Noah Simpson as one of those guys, right?
Yeah.
Such a great scorer. This is a deep senior team. They rebound the basketball really well. Multiple scores. Doesn't matter if one guy has a rough night. Somebody else is going to pick up the slack for a senior. I really see senior winning this one by double digits.
Well, and you talked about Noah Simpson, and you never want to see anybody get injured, and I'm really glad that Sean is back and in the fold, and it wasn't a long-term thing for him.
Might have been a blessing.
But that team had to learn how to win without him.
Yep.
And even prior to the injury, you really saw that Sean was doing other things other than having to carry the scoring load. He was getting those 50-50 balls. He was getting on the ground. He was doing a lot of that dirty work because other guys were stepping up and handling the scoring and taking some of that load away from him. We know what Willie Foster can do. Noah Simpson has really stepped up as well. I think it was one of the best things that could happen to this Lima senior team because I think that they are more prepared now than maybe they were just 3 weeks ago for what's ahead of them in this, not just this Aiken team, but we know Winton Woods is looming. If they're able to get past them, they have Toledo St. John's potentially, and then potentially Westerville North as well. There's a lot of really difficult games on this Division II path that I think that right now they are better prepared for than they were prior to Sean's injury.
Would you guys both agree they're in a better position this year to make a deeper run than they were?
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Tougher,
Absolutely.
much mentally
Tougher
and physically.
maturity level. Yeah.
Yep.
Look, if senior high can get by Clay Aiken, they'll be the American Idol.
Why do we say a lot of cool stuff?
Did you stutter on that one?
I
Oh
didn't
my
stutter.
gosh.
Oh no.
I'm about to leave, guys.
Call in right now
Yeah.
for.
If you have questions for Kelly Clarkson. All right, here we go. Oh, that's a good one. D6, Game 8, semifinals from the Stroh Center. Colonel Crawford, 23-2. Seneca East, 19-6. Myself on play-by-play. Nate Garlock on color. It's going to, look, I'm just here to tell you guys, in all seriousness, you guys seen Colonel Crawford play? Payne DeGray is an animal.
Yeah.
He's averaging, he's not even the leading scorer.
I remember seeing
He's
him last year,
averaging 15 a game, and Braden Holt is their leading scorer at 20 points a game. But Payne DeGray, when he dunks, he takes rims with him. He takes gymnasiums with him. This kid is an animal. I love watching him play.
Danny, this team is so good. They might not even be colonels anymore. They're going to be full generals.
Yes, sir.
Salute them, Nate. Salute them. This team is that good.
You guys go ahead and just talk, all right?
Look, Colonel Crawford is so good, and Seneca East already knows this because they've beaten them twice, right?
This is the third time they played this
third
year.
time they. Seneca East has to win this. It's got to be like a 30-40 game, right? That's the only way. Because if it's an up and down affair, 9 times over 70 points for Colonel Crawford, this is a complete basketball team.
Not so fast, Nate. Let me just share before you say.
No, go ahead, man.
Let me share with you.
I'm just over here. That's
Colonel
fine.
Crawford, the first time they played, 67-34.
Mm-hmm.
The second time, are you ready? 61-48.
They're closing the
Defensively
gap.
closing that gap. There you go.
Look, at the end of the day, when it comes, especially comes to these tournament games, right? We're talking about defense. Defense never seems to fail you, and this is a Colonel Crawford team that is only giving up 37 points a game. They average near 65. It's the defense. They got 2 guys that know how to score. You've already talked about them. The rest of the guys aren't offensive dynamos. They're not pouring in double-digit scoring, but they don't need to because that defense is so tough. It locks down teams. Seneca East knows this. We say it's hard to beat a team twice. Beating a team three times is really difficult. You know what they're going to do. You know what they're going to throw at you. But when you play defense like that, even if you try to scheme on a way to defeat that defense, it's really, really difficult. This Colonel Crawford team is a really tough out, and I think that defense gets it done.
Colonel Crawford by 20.
America has voted, and what's the outcome?
Colonel Crawford by 20.
Salute him, Nate.
Next.
Game 9, Division 6 semifinal Thursday night
buddy.
from the Stroh Center from Bowling Green State University. If you like rivalries and you want to see Frank Kill, a Lincoln View alumnus, and Dave Bowen, a Crestview alumnus, fight at center circle at halftime, this is the game. Crestview, Lincoln View. Crestview comes in at 59, a huge win over Spencerville. Lincoln View coming off their big win. Mark Shine, Jerry Snodgrass. Look, I got a game that night. I really want to go to this game.
I know someone will do play-by-play for you.
Hey, listen, there's not a lot to rehash about this, right? You're talking about rivalry, you're talking about the regular season stuff. There's a little bit of added, right, because of the conference stuff.
Yes. There's a whole lot of backstories.
Some net stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on here that
Miles loves cutting nets down.
I mean, this is as big of a regional matchup as you can get.
This is where the state got it right.
Exactly. and listen, it just has everything to do with the backstory. There's so much history here. The fact that these two teams get to meet in a regional semi is poetic. It is one of those ones where I think all of us who are fans of basketball wish we could be there.
We'll be doing our games with our phones.
Right,
that Crestview team, what a job Doug Etzler did in order to beat Spencerville. That was an amazing game, playing a face guard defense against Will Sensabaugh, taking him out of the game. Just fantastic. Down 10 into the fourth quarter, finding a way with the toughness, surviving double overtime. But a big key for Crestview is having Braxton Leith back on the floor. Now, he's not a threat to score because you remember he's coming off that injury to his shoulder. But what he gives them with toughness and defense really was a bonus in beating Spencerville. Now, Lincoln View, I want you to listen here. Lincoln
They're
View,
listening.
Come here, Lincoln View.
Closer.
Come on. I'm going to tell you a secret. Don't slow down. Run. Just run. Try to get 100 points. If you try to get 100 points, you're going to beat Crestview. But if you slow down and you go, look, I'm going to pass it to you. You pass it back to me. Then I'm going to pass it to Nate. He's going to pass it back to me.
I'm not passing.
Guess what? You're not scoring. Run the floor. Get up and down. You're so much fun. Do it, Lincoln View. Run.
Crestview, come here. Real quick. Give the ball to Will Sheets.
Yes,
He never misses. He had 1,000 points last week. Give him the ball. Just give him the ball.
He's kind of strong.
Hey, everybody, come here. All right, you guys ready? Okay. Just turn this off. Okay? Just go watch something else. I understand. I'm not going to be upset about it. Not this week. I get it. It's okay.
Hey, Lima Land, we got our cameras and crews all over the area. Saturday we'll be in Springfield. Saturday afternoon we'll be at Bowling Green. Saturday night we'll be at Bowling Green. Saturday afternoon we'll be in Vandalia Butler. And Saturday night we'll be in Vandalia Butler.
Wait, so you guys have a regional final on Saturday at Springfield.
We do, yeah.
Now, which one he's doing play-by-play for that?
Oh, I am.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I do see that. Okay, yeah, weird.
All right. Okay.
All right, guys, it's time for the sensational Stolly Player of the Week and our Power 5 teams. And Miles and Nate, our Power 5 teams are kind of dwindling down here. Yeah. We don't have the same pool to pick from.
We still have some quality.
We got some great ones, don't we?
The pool might be draining, but
the players. And
the ones that we've always had just are still there. Nobody's left. They're still existing.
I'm going with Will Sheets because of that amazing effort. He is a mountain of a man. He is 31 points. Helping his team overcome. Really, it was an epic game, right? It's one for the ages. Everybody's going to talk about this forever between those two schools, between Spencerville and Crestview. It was an amazing game. So glad I got to call it. Talking to him afterwards, he was so emotional because of the win. Like, he had to collect himself. It was such a fun interview. He had the championship belt. He wore it proudly. And I told him after the game, I said, what you should do next round, wear that championship belt during pregame to intimidate the team that they're going to play. He said he's going to do it.
How many kids, do you know, Miles, off the top of your head, how many kids have made the shot on your interview this year?
We have 2 so far this year.
Out of 20?
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
This goes to show you we don't work on it enough.
What's your Power 5?
Senior, DSJ, Bath, Arlington, and Marion Local. How about that? I have Bath in there for the first time.
That's awesome.
So for me, my sensational styling player of the week is Owen Grime. What he was able to do for that Kaleidos squad, not just
Batman music.
Please no.
Okay.
Okay. But ultimately, it was stepping up in that big spot when they needed him the most, knocking down that three-point shot. I mean, that had ice in his veins for that shot. That was a huge moment, season on the line, and he just absolutely buried it. It was great to see.
Great haircut too.
Yeah,
he does. Yeah.
It does.
And then for me, my Power 5 teams, Lima Senior, DSJ, Arlington, Lincoln View, Marion Local.
That's awesome, guys. My Stolly sensational player of the week. Guys, he lost, but what a 4-year career for Beckett Berkey. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I would be remiss if I did not mention how much I have enjoyed getting to know him and his family. I mean, we've all got to know him and his family. He's going to go down as quite possibly one of the greatest players to ever play at Shawnee High School. I mean, you've got Jamar Butlers and a lot of great players that have done the hallways of Shawnee High School. But Beckett Berkey, for me, is the most complete player we've seen come out of there in a long, long time. Kudos to him. Kudos to his family. He's my player of the week.
One of my favorite guys, right?
Yeah.
Just to watch the way he carries himself. I hated seeing them lose on Saturday, but they lost to a really good team. Unfortunately, they did lose. Tell you about his character, okay? Doesn't get the shot off at the end of the game. The ball goes rolling. Marshall shoots it. Marshall hits the ground. Beckett, the first thing he does, he goes over and helps his buddy up.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's him in a nutshell.
Solid kid. My top 5, Delphia St. John's, Lima Senior, Marion Local, Arlington, and Clyde Wildcats. I'm giving him some love. Why not? I'm giving him some love.
District champion.
Yeah, that's right, district champions.
How was it again, though?
It's pretty good.
Now give us one of these.
Oh my gosh.
Give us one of these while you do it.
If you guys are still watching, I give you so much credit. Thank you. Thanks for not turning us
Well,
off.
you know-
We're still trying to. Ththese guys apparently have forgotten that we're still trying to get a season 3.
But wait,
So-
there's more.
Yeah, wait, there's more. I'm going to give these guys a chance to go to the refrigerator, go to the bathroom, whatever they do. Because when we come back, we're going to talk Ohio State basketball. What do you think?
OH.
It's the 3 Wise Men on WSN. Welcome back, Lima Lant, Danny Holbrook, Miles Holliday, Nate Garlock. We are the 3 Wise Men. And don't look now, but we're getting backed into a corner, a Buckeye corner. And the first time all year, we've been excited about Ohio State basketball because they figured it out, guys. They finally figured it out. What's been the difference, Miles?
Look, they will say they're defending better, they're rebounding better, but honestly, it's Mobley, isn't it? It's always Mobley. When he is hitting from behind the arc, they are really tough to defend. Hopefully, he continues. I did like the comment he had a week ago when we were down there at Purdue. They interviewed him after the game, and he says, we're in the tournament, and we're going to make a deep run. Ooh, like that confidence, Nate.
Listen, there's one thing that you can tie this all back to. This last little run that they've gone on that has led them to where we think that they're poised to make their first tournament.
Get
There's
ready,
one simple event that has happened since then, and that is the 3 Wiseman crew down at Purdue.
A little karma.
And then obviously me winning that backdoor cover at the end of that game. That was the catalyst for all the good vibes happening down at Ohio State now.
It was fun going down there with Jacob and Nick and Kelsey and Megan and you guys. That was a lot of fun.
Did they sit somewhere else?
Hot Dog didn't.
Hot Dog was with us.
He looked up to his name that day, too.
That's right. For me, it's Johnny Mobley. I'm telling you, man, he's been fantastic. He opens up everything when he's hitting, and his confidence is through the roof. Every time he takes that first shot of the game, I pray that it goes in, because if the first one goes in, he's a different player. If he misses 3 or 4 in a row, then he starts hanging his head a little bit. But that'll come with maturity. He's a sophomore. It's going to come with maturity. He's going to be all right. Guys, Bruce Thornton became the all-time leading scorer. Will he be remembered as one of the best Buckeyes ever?
I will say yes, because you go through the list of the top 5 scorers in Ohio State history. You always say their name, but you can always think of 2 or 3 other really good teammates, can't you? Mm-hmm. You can't do that with Bruce, can you?
No, he's
right.
Yeah.
Bruce has had to work really hard.
Yeah.
He should be remembered as one of the top 5 because he single-handedly has been the identity of this program through some tough times, and he had to get all those points really tough because there was nobody else being his Robin to his Batman.
No.
So he should be. Yeah. I don't think it's going to happen. And it's nothing against him.
What if they make a deep run?
I just don't think, short of them winning a national championship, I don't know that
Final
anybody
Four?
will ever remember Bruce Thornton 5 years from now. And that's a shame. It really is. We've talked in our group text, has there ever been a more quiet ascension to the top of an all-time scorer list at a program like Ohio State than Bruce Thornton's? He has been solid. He has been consistent. He has stayed in an era that nobody has stayed. But because he has been a part of one of the worst stretches of Ohio State basketball, with all the changes, the lack of tournaments, the lack of deep Big Ten tournament runs, the lack of NCAA tournament runs, this program has just kind of fallen into the abyss. And unfortunately for Bruce Thornton, he has been there during that time, and he's hit this milestone during that time. I think in 5 years, it is going to be a great trivia question. Who is the all-time leading scorer in Ohio State history? And I think that it will take you a long time for people to come up with Bruce Thornton's
You
name.
were okay with them stopping the game when he passed Dennis Hobson, right?
They should have.
Right, but when he became third and fourth or second.
I also think he should have been recognized.
Fifth?
Yep.
Sixth?
Yep.
Seventh?
Absolutely.
Eighth?
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're good,
okay.
we're good.
All right.
Will he
Anything
be
in the top 10, big guy.
Will he be remembered as one of the best ever? The answer is no. And I'm sorry. Guys, look, he's a great player.
Jay Burson's not walking in that
He's
door.
a great player. He's never been the Big Ten Player of the Year.
Yeah.
He's never even been first team All Big Ten. He will be this year. He will be this year. Yeah, he should be. He's never taken him to the dance. They've never gotten past the second round of the NIT. He's been the best player on some really bad teams. And that's unfortunate because he is what college basketball should be about. But I'm going to give you some names and you tell me if he's better. Dennis Hobson.
Yeah, right.
Clark Kellogg.
Yeah, Special K.
Jimmy Jackson.
Oof.
Greg Oden.
No.
Evan Turner.
Yeah.
Bryce Sensabaugh.
I'll give you that one.
Bryce,
yeah.
You think he's better than Bryce Sensabaugh?
Yeah.
Ooh, Bryce Sensabaugh's in the league.
Yeah,
Miles.
but
Bryce is in the league.
Bryce had 20 games.
Right, and I know he's in the league.
Yeah.
William Buford,
Oh, I love
the Wyoming Cowboy.
Yeah,
he ain't better than the Wyoming Cowboy. Yeah. And then-
I'd take Thornton over Buford.
Would you really?
Yeah, I would.
Wow, that shot at Michigan State to win Big Ten?
Great one
Snake's
shot.
last show. D'Angelo Russell.
That's tough. D'Angelo's there 1 year.
That's a tough. One.
That's my point.
But,
yeah.
but there are, and this is what I'm talking about. Like at the end of the day, those names we remember, whether it was 20 games or not. Bruce has been there 4 years, and there's a lot of Ohio State fans who are casual fans who don't know who he is.
He takes them to the Final Four. Your perception changes.
Well, sure.
I think he. But it's going to take something like that
Well, okay.
for people to remember him.
I'll just say this. The two guys that did take him to the Final Four that are better. Scooney Penn, who'd you take?
I love Scooney.
Scooney Penn,
Scooney Penn.
all day long.
Who'd you take, Michael Redd or?
Michael Redd.
Michael Redd.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think it's a question.
Although their banner's hiding.
that
All right,
hurts.
guys.
That hurts.
The Buckeyes could play that team up north on Friday at 11 a.m. in the Big Ten tourney. If Ohio State can beat Iowa, do they have a chance to upset Michigan? I'm going to answer first. No chance whatsoever. I love you, Buckeyes, but this is a Michigan team that is ridiculously good.
Well, here's the deal. That sentence in it had the word "if Ohio State can beat Iowa."
Oh,
not,
I think they will.
Not
Don't you?
when Ohio State. But you didn't frame it that way.
No, I know.
Because it's still if. If
Well,
you have to talk about
I don't
them,
want to jinx it.
if you have to talk about them, if they can
wanna
beat
jinx
Iowa, that tells you everything you need to know about their chances to pull that upset.
I was, for some reason, stopped playing good basketball since they took us to the woodshed at Iowa last time we played. They'll beat Iowa. Now, can they beat Michigan? Look, I saw Michigan State play Michigan. Instead of a puncher's chance, I think they got a kicker's chance.
No, man.
Jeremy
get
Fears
it. No,
Jr. inspired that
we
one.
got it.
Yeah,
Yep, we got
Kid,
it.
Jeremy Fears.
Yeah, like that one?
Hi-ya, Mr. Miyagi.
No, I think they have a chance because they all remember. This is a prideful group. That was as ugly as Ohio State basketball has ever been when Michigan just beat the tar out of them down there early in the season.
Look, I'm going to agree with him. If the Buckeyes pull this off, then we will move Bruce Thornton to mid 5-6 area, somewhere in there, because that would be the greatest upset in Big Ten history. I mean, this Michigan team is 29 games on the
so
year.
good.
They
They are
don't
so
have a
good.
weakness anywhere.
They're
And
so
I
good.
hate Michigan, and I'm looking at them going, yeah, I'm going to put my money on them. Yeah.
And
They're like plus 300. They're not even a good bet. They're really not.
I will call it. All right, it will be a muddy mess. Last possession.
Well, they're not playing on the volleyball court
I'm
outside.
telling you, there's going to be foul trouble for both teams. There's going to be a loose ball for a missed shot. It rolls out to the wing.
And Evan Turner hits a half-court
Colin
shot.
White picks it up at the buzzer. Buckeyes on a
that'd be
buzzer beater by
amazing.
Colin
And
White.
he looks at him and said, I told you so.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
like that.
Yep.
All right, guys, where do you see the Buckeyes being seated and how deep a run can they make in the end? Because I think we all agree they're going to the tournament.
Last
Yeah.
bracketology that I saw that was updated as of this morning has them as a 9 seed. I think that's probably about right.
Yeah.
Their draw, unfortunately, which let's be honest, the bracketology is about as accurate as anything that you're going to get. He nails it. Joe Lenardi nails it pretty much every time. They're a 9
His
seed.
dad, Vince, was a heck of a coach.
Fantastic.
They're a 9 seed. So at that 8-9 matchup, if they're able to get by that, they then play Duke. That's when our season comes to an end.
Duke's really good. Duke is
it's
Duke.
over.
Yeah, I think at 9-10 is appropriate.
I had him at 10.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
How many, you think they can win a game or two?
I do.
I think they can win one.
I think they can win one. I don't want if depends what bracket they get in, right? But if they get Duke, you're like, okay, at least we got the tournament. That's what we all wanted.
Yeah.
Right?
That's how low the bar is for the Bruce Thornton era.
It is moving forward though.
Well, stick around, Lima Land, because if you didn't like any of those predictions, Nate the Great is coming on set.
He's here?
Yes, he's here. Yeah, he's coming back, Lima Land. Stick around. He's here on the Three Wise Men. Welcome back in, Lima Land. It's the Three Wise Men. I'm Danny Holbrook, joined by Miles Holiday and a special guest.
It's been a while.
Nate the Great is here. He's going to be predicting games, looking into the future, and basically leading you and I, Miles, down the tournament trail. Hello, Nate.
I wish that you guys would have called me prior to the beginning of this show. I could have predicted a lot of bad things from happening during this episode.
Oh, so
you really should have.
like
You
what?
really should have.
Like what, Nate?
A lot of puns, a lot of silence as jokes fell flat. I could have helped you really punch this episode.
Well, I
up.
get rid of my sore throat, Nate the Great. It's really bad.
No, and I have predicted that at some point this week, you will fall so ill or have an accident that whoever your partner is this week will have to step in, and the broadcast will become that much better.
Brake lines, maybe?
I'm so
Got
sorry.
dark, Nate the Great.
I just
Got really
I'm
dark.
trying to fight the flu and Nate the Great. Yeah.
Good luck.
It's good to see
Take
you.
it away,
I
Nate.
hope nothing bad happens to you this
thank
week,
you.
Mr. Holbrook.
Okay. You're so approachable.
So, as you guys called and asked for some predictions as we are on this tournament trail, I spent a lot of time meditating and looking into the future and seeing what the future would show me. I was able to come up with several predictions, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to let you guys know, save you guys some time. I'm going to let you know how things are going to play out.
Oh.
And then you guys will have, I'm even going to let you guys have the opportunity of telling me why I'm so right.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So my first prediction.
Very confident.
My first prediction for the rest of this tournament season is that we are going to see a rematch in Division II state finals, Lima Senior and Westerville North.
Oh, I thought he was saying a rematch from last year, but he's talking about
this
earlier
year.
years.
Talking about season.
These two teams
I
already
called that game.
Wow.
These two teams already met once, and they will meet again. I'm also predicting a change of the results from earlier this season.
Sean Foster's playing. He
That's
didn't play
right.
in the first game.
Huge difference,
Yeah.
right, Nate the Great?
A huge difference. Sean's presence on that court will give Lima Senior a little bit of extra firepower that they didn't have in a very close game against Westerville North. Lima Senior, Westerville North for a state championship. Lima bringing home a state championship.
Nate's a great, very bold,
Fantastic.
very
Can you
bold.
play the piano? Look at Ray Charles thing.
I predict that you will continue to say things that we find not funny.
Miles finds them funny. He finds them funny. You just aren't looking hard enough. He
Second
finds them
prediction. Second prediction. Delphus St. John's has had a historic season.
They have. Yes.
25-0.
They have yet to taste defeat. They will continue to dominate as they move through this tournament. On their way to a state final game, they will have two running clock games through regionals and into the state final.
Ooh, these are amazing, Nate. You just told
running
me
clock.
that 2 top 5 teams in their division in the state of Ohio are going to go far in the tournament. This is riveting. Riveting.
Well, no, that's not what I said.
Running clock, though.
What I said is that they will play so well that they will have running clocks in those games.
Which means they'll win.
That's not the prediction.
Oh, the
I
prediction is
also
the running
predict
clock.
you have a hearing and listening issue. I don't think that you like that the spotlight might be on somebody else currently.
Nate the Great, are you concerned at all for DSJ fans that they get there so early, and if the weather breaks and it's 70 degrees, that sunburn might be a problem?
Absolutely not. The fan base at Delphus St. John's is second to none.
I like it. I like it.
Third prediction. The Lincoln View Lancers, a team that had only 5 wins just a year ago. Not only are they going to play in a regional championship?
Ooh, watch out, Dave Bowen. Watch out.
They are going to win a regional championship
Oh, my.
and make it to the Final Four, just a year removed from only a 5-win campaign.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow, Crespi people, turn that.
First time
down.
back to the Final Four since the days of Brandon Pardon, Scott Pollock, Frank Kill, Wes Dudgeon. Whoa!
That's a great prediction, Nate the Great.
Thank you. My fourth and final prediction is that we will see in Division 4 an all WBL regional final matchup as both the Van Wert Cougars and the Bath Wildcats will face each other for a state or for a place in the state Final Four.
I got to be honest with you. If that happens, which I hope it happens, what gym they going to have big enough to hold those two fan bases? They will show out big time.
Yeah, and great thing, our good friend Eric McCracken will be there. Yeah, that's going to be a big time. Yep.
Yeah.
So these are my predictions. This is what the future has shown me. You are welcome.
Nate the Great, can I go back to a prediction that we had in the fall? We never got to hear the fruition of that prediction. Will St. Henry beat Marion Local in football in the playoffs?
Yes.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Oh, my goodness.
Nate the Great is
yeah.
being retired.
Nate the Great has been fantastic. He's Miles Holiday. He's Nate the Great. I'm Danny Holbrook. You've been watching the Three Wise Men, Lima Land. We'll see you down the line.